Hello! Today I want to go over an easy recipe that you can do on your own that requires little to no skill, and it is a great way to use up ingredients that you have in your house. I'm going to call this recipe Slow Cooker Farmer's Market Chili, and I'm going to go over the basics that you're going to need and what you could put in if you didn't have what I used. Now, the more that you cook, the more you'll realize that you can look at a recipe, and if you don't have the ingredients, there's a number of other ingredients you can use in place of them. And you'll get an idea of what works well together, and I'll talk about some combinations that I believe work well together. And this is a great recipe because it's easy. You can do your thing. You could even go to work and let it cook and then come home when it's ready. And it's a great way, like I said, to use up things that could be in your fridge if you just haven't gotten around to eating them. The essentials for this recipe are going to be onion and garlic and jarred tomatoes and some spices here. I'm using fire roasted jarred tomatoes. I feel like that has a better flavor than just regular jarred tomatoes because it's a chili. I want more of that smoky roasted flavor going on. Onion and garlic contribute so much to so many different recipes, and a chili really wouldn't be a chili without some onion and garlic. And you're only going to need one onion, and if you like a lot of onion flavor, you could use a large onion. If you don't like onion that much, use half an onion, but I would still keep it in there. It lends a lot to the flavor. With garlic, the same thing. Use as many cloves as you'd like depending on the flavor that you enjoy. The recipe that I used will be in the description, and you can modify it however you like. The spices, the most important ones you're going to want are going to be chili powder and cumin. And chili powder, obviously you need to make chili. Cumin is another ingredient that's going to make a very good flavor contribution to the dish. And then other ones that I think are important are going to be some heat. And I have cayenne and Aleppo pepper. You could also use crushed red pepper. And you could also use a fresh jalapeno if you wanted to dice that up. In this recipe, I'm only using 1 can of beans. Some chilies will have up to 3. I focused more on the veggies because it was a farmer's market chili. And you can use whatever kind of beans you want. This is just a can of organic chili beans. There's 3 kinds, and the recipe I originally used, it was black beans. You could use whatever can of beans you have on hand, and it's that simple. The veggies that I used are in my belly now, so I don't have them to show you, but I have a bell pepper and a tomato and a sweet potato. I used in the recipe a zucchini and a summer squash and a bell pepper and a can of beans. And what you're looking for here is enough vegetables to come pretty close to the top, and you're gonna add this whole jar of tomatoes. And then what I did is I took a cup of water and put it in here, and I shook it up just to get all the rest of the tomato out and poured it in the slow cooker. And then I added 1 more cup of water. And when you do that yourself, you'll see how high the liquid is. And you want to keep putting in fresh veggies until they're a little bit above the water, because we're not going for a soup here, we're going for a chili, which is going to be thick and hearty. And I had about 2 cups of zucchini and a cup and a half of summer squash, and then I had my beans and my bell pepper, and it worked out really well. Sweet potato, I would dice it up into little bite-sized cube pieces, and the bell pepper I would also dice up. You're looking for mouth-sized pieces so it's easy to eat, it has nice texture. If you had a tomato lying around, it doesn't matter that you have tomato in a jar, but you could easily just slice this up and throw it in. What we're looking for is a way to take a bunch of vegetables that we have in the house, in the fridge, that we want to eat up and combine them together. And vegetables that go well in a chili would include sweet potato, bell peppers, onion, squash, zucchini, corn, and those are going to be some of the basics. You could even add kale or spinach if you wanted to add some green. You could add some quinoa or some rice if you wanted to add some extra density and nutrition that way and bulk it up. And basically, look at the recipe I have down below. Keep the same ratio of ingredients. Make sure to have the tomatoes, the spices, and the onion and the garlic, and you're going to be good. And then play around with the heat. If you want to make it spicy, then you could follow my guidelines or create your own. And it's really that simple. The little bit of sugar that I add in, I think is really important as well. Sugar brightens the flavors of a lot of things and especially lends some flavor synergy to tomatoes. So I also really enjoy having foods that are a little sweet and spicy. I like that combination. So I would say that's an important ingredient to have. You don't need anything other than what's here, and you can, if you don't have stuff just laying around but you want a simple recipe, go to the store, pick a few of the ingredients that you like the most, and throw it in your slow cooker. And all you have to do is dice up the ingredients, throw them into your slow cooker, add the liquid, put it on low for 6 to 8 hours. If you're home, you can turn it off as soon as the sweet potatoes are tender. If you're not at home, it'll be fine on low, and food will be waiting for you when you get home. It's a healthy, easy recipe, and it's one you can customize over and over and over. And if you like this recipe, let me know what you made with it. And if you want more recipes like this, let me know as well and like the video. I've made a sweet and spicy curried pumpkin soup, and that's getting into using more flavors like ginger and curry powder and pumpkin, and you can really go off into all sorts of directions and make these slow cooker dishes so easy and so delicious. So with that, thanks for watching, and please let me know if you'd like to see more content like this, and I'll see you next time.